at recyclingsimplified.com.
For the game day hustle and every day in between. Juggling my show, Jags Social, to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Save 10% off any water heater, plus no trip charge. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
If you look good, you feel good. And the medical professionals here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are here to make you feel your best. I'm on camera every week, and I have a confession to make. I'm not always confident in my appearance. Can you see my dark circles? Is my makeup highlighting my fine lines instead of covering them up? I question it all. So when I found out about the wide variety of procedures here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics, I knew help was just one appointment away. Medical Director Dr. Megan Deacon Casey and her board-certified physicians have been using the latest and cutting-edge technology for the last 10 years, giving men and women their personal confidence boost. From Botox, fillers, Morpheus 8, and so much more. The hardest part was figuring out what I needed. Thankfully, the medical team walked me through what would work best for me through a free consultation. Come look and feel your best with the team here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics. Visit them at one of their 2 locations, either over in Ponte Vedra or on the south side.
Welcome inside the Armor Guard exterior and gutter helmet showroom. There's a lot going on, like glass exteriors, replacement windows, and down there we have the retractable screens and awnings, plus hurricane protection. Let's talk more about those gutters, and to do that we bring in Kevin. He's the owner, he's the expert. Why Gutter Helmet?
Well, Gutter Helmet's truly the only maintenance-free product. It lets the trash and debris go on the ground, the water wraps around and goes inside. Unlike filters, they sit on top of the gutters, and the trash and debris build up on top of the filters, which requires maintenance. With Gutter Helmet, we're going to keep you off the ladder, the most dangerous thing in your garage. With Gutter Helmet, you'll never clean your gutters again. So get off the ladder and put on the helmet. Gutter Helmet.
Get a free estimate at gutterhelmetofnorthflorida.com. You can also call 904-762-7779 or visit the showroom on St. John's Bluff Road in Jacksonville.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
I think we're back. Back in business, not just the Jags, but here on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network. Throw us a line if you can hear us, because Kim broke it again. Ain't that something to happen around here? I mean,
under the bus.
Listen, after the name debacle, I might as well. But anyway.
Still not over that. I forgot about that.
Still not over that. Anyway, that's Travis Hunter. Got married this weekend. I would assume you probably talked a little bit about that earlier in the show, but
Can you get wedding pictures autographed? Would that be worth something?
It would be foul. It would be.
You don't do that.
Could you imagine? Like, it's hard to, I guess, put you in that scenario without, like, ever being in that scenario. How weird would it be? Like, You're not famous, Brent, but like kinda. Like you're Jacksonville adjacent famous. People know who you are. If someone walked up to you and was like, "Hey Brent, big fan, been listening to you since whenever. Could you sign this picture?" And it's you and Steph getting married. Wouldn't you be like, "What the hell is wrong with you?" Unless you're getting Steph on it too, it's a duel. Then I get it. But
Yeah, probably. I mean, I don't know.
you don't think that'd be weird?
Yeah, probably weird. Probably a little weird.
Because like there's a whole behind the scenes of like human A had to find image, send image to Walgreens to get printed. Walgreens was like, nothing wrong with this. We're gonna print it. And then you showed up to get like,
Yeah,
foul.
but okay, but I would say this: the reason why I'm curious and don't think it's as strange is one, there's a lot of stuff out there on his wedding now, and obviously he put it out,
Yeah, for sure.
right, or allowed it to be out, or allowed people there to put it out. So it's not like it's some secret. And then the other thing is when I would think, again, this isn't if you're a fan of Brent, this is if you're a fan of somebody like Travis Hunter and you're a collectible type deal, you get them in different elements of their world, their life. Like if you've got a picture of him fishing, that's going to have a little bit of a different meaning than him playing football. Like same thing with like this moment versus the retired Colorado moment, Jersey moment. So yeah, I think of it as less weird and more like these moments that you're capturing of somebody that would be of famous, right? Like if Derek Jeter had something out that he was married, like I would say, okay, like I could see a collector saying I've got that autographed, him and his wife even. Like that's kind of a cool item to have.
Yeah, Hannah would be an interesting duel on there with Jeter.
But so I don't know. I think I don't know what is weird anymore. I guess I feel there's an element of there are two guys right now in Jacksonville that I feel, and not in this way, but I would equate it to this way. It almost has like a royal family kind of thing to it with Trevor.
Yep.
And now with Travis Hunter. Like they're that big. And so I could see someone doing the same thing with Trevor if his wedding was more public.
Yeah.
Because it just has that feel, and the NFL's so big now, and these guys are such big stars that, I mean, when you think of Trevor, you think of Marissa as well, right? I mean, this whole town got them a toaster. So is that weird? I don't know. We thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, the only person that I've ever seen sign their actual wedding photos in real life, not like movie, was Priscilla Presley with Elvis.
Okay.
I've seen that happen multiple times, and she like promotes that. The only other one that I would ever even consider, but you would never get the chance, would be Harry and Meghan. I think if people got the shot at Meghan Markle, they would probably do that.
Yeah.
But outside,
so that's just not out there. Like there's not a lot of that out there.
No, like
I mean, think about like
it's weird though.
In the old days of collecting stuff like Marilyn Monroe or whatever, right? I would think it was so many different things.
Do those exist? Who did she get married to that's real famous?
What? Did Marilyn Monroe get married like 15 times? I feel like. I think it was a lot.
Well, there's not much of that out there in the first place. But
yeah. But I'm just even thinking about all these different shots of like Marilyn Monroe. It's kind of like, okay, that's kind of, maybe that would be a little weird. But again, it's just these momentous occasions and have these guys reach that point where it's like, it's an occasion. It's unique.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I think if you're in the business that I'm in, if I were to get a shot at Trevor or Travis Hunter in person, there is no scenario I'm putting a wedding photo in front of them. So I think the only way that would happen would be like through Fanatics, where it's like, I don't know, Trevor gets paid by Fanatics. Like he's a Fanatics athlete. So like if he was doing a signing and they're like, hey, we're going to do this as like a joke and then we're going to get Marissa on him, like then yeah, that would happen. But nobody who like is getting autographs to potentially resell them is going to be like, you know what, instead of getting a helmet signed, let me go with the wedding photo. Like it's just not going to happen.
I get so that's what the industry basically says, because what people are going to buy. Or
although you could, like, this could be another idea, you could break waves here if you just got everyone to get their wedding photos done, because like nobody has them. Like if you type in Trevor Lawrence signed wedding photo, it ain't out there. I think Trevor would look at you sideways. He's a nice dude, but I think he'd be like, what are you doing?
He would probably.
I think. From the little I know about Trevor.
Well, not only that, but you know the industry. So, like the industry, you'd be like, okay, this is weird.
He's definitely never seen it before.
I could see somebody doing like a collectible thing, but you get like Marissa too.
Yeah, and I think that would be even more foul.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Marissa's nice. I feel like it would be like that's is
Sorry,
it not?
we're talking about Trevor and Marissa in this way right now. I'm just
Is that not weird? Like,
I don't know. Like, I just don't know what weird is. I mean, the whole world is very weird. I mean, we do stuff.
That's fair.
And we see stuff, and we want like. I think that collectible world is very social media-esque in a way, where it's like, why are we watching someone play a video game, or why do we care about this? But we do, like, and I don't say we meaning me, but a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And so I could literally see somebody saying, hey, I'm going to collect all these famous athletes' wedding photos.
I mean, it could happen. I just never have seen
Kim,
it.
jump in. How weird is it? Weird? Like, I mean, is that a weird thing? I mean, I
Kim, first off, she texted me. It was Joe DiMaggio who Marilyn Monroe married.
Oh, that was a famous one.
But I don't think there's any of that out there because, like, it was so long ago. There are Marilyn Monroe autographs out there, but, like, I don't think that they exist on that. I don't know. But now, Kim, I'm not sure if you favorite celebrity is such a weird thing to say, but if there's a celebrity of note, would you want to own their autographed wedding picture? Anybody come to mind here, Kim?
Not really.
Okay, yeah.
No. I mean, I have autographed celebrity pictures, but they're not.
There you go. And at any point in time were you like, you know what? As I have my signed picture of A, I wish this was them getting married instead?
No.
Well, I don't know if it's wish. That's kind of framing it a little bit different.
I don't know.
I mean, like, listen, you
Okay.
the whole industry is built on uniqueness.
I get that.
Right? So
I'm big
like when
into
you have
that.
Bo Jackson and you got the bat and the shoulder pads and everything else, like that's
fine.
different than him carrying the ball or swinging a bat.
Sure.
Like, I really feel like that's, if you have Tim Tebow,
Baseball stuff.
baseball, if you have Tim Tebow now with the Jags, like, I don't know if that's a thing. If you have Tim Tebow on the set of SEC, whatever, if you have Tim Tebow married to Miss Universe and they both signed it, like, I could see in the industry that being like, that's a cool get. Not a weird get.
Here's the thing,
but a cool get. Like, and I'm not telling you I want to own it. I don't want to own any of this stuff. But
you kind of do.
I feel like at that point they're both famous though.
well, and maybe that's the key, right? Is that the both famous part?
But there are pictures of them just like at the red carpet. Like I've
Okay,
I've
but
done,
that's okay. Like, them dressed up at a red carpet's okay,
Yes.
but their wedding isn't.
okay is where I'm like, because like it's not that it's not okay. Like to me, it's just kind of odd. I guess I don't know. Like I pull photos all the time. I would never ever consider it.
It feels too personal.
It feels too personal. Yeah.
Okay.
So like,
and
if they
by
had
the way,
a very public wedding, that would probably be less weird. But
Like a royal wedding.
yeah.
well, like a royal wedding or like a Travis Hunter wedding. Now, Tim and his wife, I think, very private.
Demi?
I think so. Very private wedding, probably.
Yeah.
Trevor, Marissa, like, I haven't seen photos out there. Like, probably pretty private. So to your point, maybe there are levels of this, but there are photos everywhere this weekend of Travis Hunter and his new
That's
wife.
fair. That is fair.
So like how about if it's her with a great shot of him giving her the car?
Maybe.
Is that different than like walking down the aisle?
Potentially. Because, like, yes, I think, not that I would do it, but yeah, you're getting to a territory where it could make sense now. Because, like, in theory, if they're up there getting married, you jacked it from the wedding photographer, which could open up a whole nother can of
Well,
worms,
that could. Yeah,
by the
that could
way.
be a different deal, right?
But, like, something, like a moment like that, maybe. Or if there's a moment with, like, Trevor and Marissa with the toaster, I don't know if that exists.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
You know, like something
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that, you could be like, okay, this makes sense. And like people of Jacksonville would be like, oh, I get this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like if they're up there, like, I do, that's foul.
Okay, what about
That's how you
this?
get punched in the face,
I'm gonna
in
give,
my opinion.
How about just, not that Fanatics needs to make any more money,
Okay.
but what if, will we see or could we see a guy like Travis Hunter who does like an actual like wedding photo for a card? You know,
Yeah, I
again,
get what
the
you're saying.
uniqueness of it, right? And Travis Hunter might not be the greatest example, although for right now he is because he's big. But you guys might be more right. Like if this was today's day and age and Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio got married.
Yeah, for sure.
Like for Fanatics to do a card of that would be epic.
Yeah. I think I think it solely depends on the situation. Like, and what your Tops now would do those cards because they do ones for like the moments that just happened. So like,
they kind of do some off.
Well, no, they don't do weddings, but they do
I mean outside of sport stuff with the athlete.
No, they just do stuff that's like super fresh. Like they could is what I'm like.
Okay.
Ronnie Simon, bro, bad night last night.
I actually had this in the thing. Yeah.
But like, let's say he didn't make 4 errors and it was like he did 4 of something, hit 4 home runs. Like there would be a Tops Now card this morning.
Really? They're doing it that quick?
That they're pre-selling. They haven't made them yet, but they've put the image on.
Oh, wow.
They've put and they're selling them on
like
their
the
website.
T-shirt companies.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, could it be that? Like if two athletes like Livy Dunn, Paul Skeens, if they got married like today and it was public, yeah, I bet that would happen.
Like that could be but that could almost be a good idea.
Yeah.
For them, for like
it could. For
Fanatics, Tops, whoever you name it.
Yeah. That's actually one that would be super, because like, but again, it's less weird because they did it for GQ, but like they did the GQ photo shoot.
They did?
Paul, yeah. And people get Livy on those all the time. Nobody gets Paul on them, but like,
yeah.
See, it's just
and she is so out there.
Yeah.
With whether it's the Sports Illustrated stuff or the swimsuit issue to, I mean, they are so out there as a couple.
Yeah.
That it's part of their thing.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, it's just
the other one.
That's an interesting deal that
I could see, but nobody ever gets these people is like a lot of the times the people that do The Bachelor and The Bachelorette get married on TV.
Yeah.
That would be fair.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's their start.
I've never done it, but like I have gotten people that were on the show, but usually I just do like the poster, if you will.
Okay. Oh, they have like a poster of them.
Yeah, everyone will have like a season still.
Yeah, that makes.
But they get like if you get married and super on television, like you're kind of asking. Like I'm sure somebody in the UK has tried to get William or
had to have
the other royals on a wedding photo.
Yeah.
Had to have happened.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do it.
Yeah, I don't know the level of strangeness. Like
it's weird.
What's Carrie Underwood and the hockey guy, her husband,
Mike Fisher.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Like they're both famous.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever happened.
Hockey guy's less famous. I didn't even know.
Hockey guy would probably sign it. But like again, I think people just go to like. It's very interesting to see where your brain's at on this. Not in a bad way. Just it's interesting because like if I'm doing a duel of anybody, like say Carrie's not in this conversation, but like Demi and Tim Tebow, I'd be like, okay, if I'm doing a duel, give me something from like a red carpet. I would never think think wedding. I don't know why. It never would come up.
Yeah. Well, and again, you said it. If it's private, personal, that's a different story. But I think if one is super public, then kind of feels like fair game and also feels unique. Like again, that whole industry is based on what's unique, what's rare.
No, dude, I'm big on the unique stuff.
And I don't know if it's weird to collect. Again, I don't do it, so I don't really know which one would be weird.
He doesn't do it. Wink, wink. He's crying out for somebody to get Travis Hunter to sign his wedding photo. No. He's like, I already got the one of Trevor. I just need the one of Travis Hunter.
I don't have that. That'd be pretty rare, though, if I had both of them.
That would be stunning. You'd have literally the only ones. One of one on each.
I cannot, by the way. Andy Cray, I've just joined the stream as Casey talks about Europa.
He has not. Chelsea's.
We did talk about Armada.
Chelsea's in good form, though. They got a shot here to win something, which would be great. Yeah, no, they're playing well.
Well, where they started and where they are, it's a pretty big deal. Big difference.
Yeah, I mean, the two things aren't necessarily exclusive because not Premier League. But anyway.
I get it. But still.
Yeah, no, they're in decent form right now. They got a shot. That's today at 3, I think, so I'm going to stream that on my phone. What a heck of a pull, Andy Cray, remembering that I would care about something like that.
That is good.
See? This is why you do it, Brett. The relationships, the people. Anyway, I think they get it done.
All right, so I've got this problem right now on Twitter.
Good. Okay.
Like, I don't know the best way to get rid of it. So I've got this.
Are you still on the bots?
Yeah, I got the bots are crazy right now.
I say take the engagement.
And it's all on the, it's all like, I think crypto, whatever. It's all like, it's all.
I think you should start replying to them.
So what I do is I actually mute them because I'm afraid if I engage with them, they will just get worse. So like blocking and all that.
Yeah.
So I just mute them so I don't see them. But they are like relentless right now.
They won't
like
give
I've
up.
never had like is that a thing with a lot of people going on?
It does happen.
Because I am like it is relentless the last couple of weeks. And I don't want bot followers, honestly.
Well, listen, you've gained like a couple hundred followers.
I have. Like they are obviously following.
Just don't complain. Like,
but like we don't even talk about crypto like that much.
have you checked your like crypto accounts to make sure you didn't get hacked?
Yeah, I haven't been hacked. Not yet.
Okay,
but
good.
they might be trying.
Maybe change your
Obviously.
passwords.
Yeah. But yeah, it's weird. Isn't that weird? Just all of a sudden.
Yeah, I see. I think you should reply to them and then just keep counting the engagement and then like put it in with the total number.
Yeah. Okay.
We got 68 new comments.
Yeah, I don't want that.
Okay, listen.
I don't want that engagement.
Just trying to help. Yeah, you're cooked, man. They're after you left and right. I don't
They
know.
have figured something out.
Maybe you should just go cold turkey. No Twitter for a week.
You think they'd go away?
I think they'd wonder where you are.
I can do that in the upcoming weeks when we don't have a show.
No,
Maybe
you
just
can't.
go.
You can't. You can't go a day without tweeting something.
I mean, I might be able to if you really challenge me to it.
Yeah, a day's not going to do it. I'm saying you need to go a week, 7 full, 24 times 7. What is that?
Yeah, I've done it before. I was challenged to do that one time, and I did it.
How long ago?
Oh, it was years ago.
168 hours of no Twitter. All right.
Yeah, I mean, we just don't promote anything on my handle. Like a lot of my stuff is promoting our network and everything else. So
Yeah,
and
there's
we
the
just wouldn't
occasional
do that.
stupid stuff as
Yeah,
well.
okay, you used to sneak the stupid stuff in.
I don't know.
But I bet my stupid tweets are down a lot. But
That's
the bots are up.
Bots are up.
What the hell?
By the way, that's a good call. David and Victoria Beckham.
Yeah, that
That's
would be a good one, right? That would be a good one.
Mm-hmm. Like you could add that to your collection.
Yeah, I don't have any.
That would be a
interest in
tough
this
one
collection.
in terms of like the duels that you could, because like the one thing about like the ones we were just talking about is like Marissa's not famous.
No.
So like in theory, if you could get Trevor, you could probably get Marissa. Same thing with Travis Hunter. If you could get Travis, you could probably get her. That one is like, I mean, if you get David, you somehow got to get Victoria too. Like,
Yeah, it's a tough one.
yeah.
That'd be worth a lot of money though.
Probably.
Whether you think it's creepy or not.
Probably no. I acknowledge that. I'm sure people would pay. Listen, if there's one thing I know, somebody's gonna pay for some random crap.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what my whole thing is built off of. Random crap for sale. People are gonna buy it.
Anyway, Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, Austin Lane joining us here in just a little bit. Hey, let's get to Daniel Griffiths, that one painter, First Coast, paint the player. And we've got a couple today. I'm going to go with the playoff proposal. If you have that one, Kim, I'm not sure if you have an image. Hopefully it's not a bad image that makes us go boom again.
Hold on to your hats, folks. We may never come back.
But that's today's article, actionsportsjacks.com. You can read all about it with Daniel Griffiths and a couple of them to catch up on. But he did an interesting one today with the playoff probability, and his idea here was the Jags better get off to a good start. And I remember this used to always be a thing because I remember being up in New York, and when the Giants would start like 0-2, everybody would throw this at you, or the Patriots, even when I was up there, 0-2, can't make the playoffs. And then somebody did it to kind of change the, at least percentages a little bit. Mm-hmm. But if you start slow, you really don't have a great chance at the postseason.
No.
And that's the moral of the story. Well, moral of the story for the Jags is they've got a tough stretch to start. Mm-hmm. So that first win is massive, and somehow trying to get to like 2-2 would be really important. I mean, let's do some of the percentages.
2-2. Oh.
First 4 games of the season, teams go 4-0. 85% chance to make the playoffs. Well, the Jags probably not going 4-0.
This is a crazy graphic. Like, this is cool.
If you go 3-1, you have a 67% chance of making the playoffs. If you go 2-2, you have just a 42% chance to make the playoffs. At 2-2, which, by the way, sign me up for 2-2 right now for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Your chances of winning the division go to 22%. At 2-2, but probably not the AFC South. If you just did AFC South over the time, I don't know if you'd get that. Look at the halfway mark of the season. 5-4 record at the midway point. Only nets a 54% chance of making the postseason.
Wow.
But if you go 4-5, you go to 28%. So being 5-4 rather than 4-5 is huge. Keep in mind the Jaguars were 3-7 and made the postseason, so they were on the wrong end of this a few years ago and climbed their way back into it. So they defeated the odds, but you cannot plan on it.
You know what's crazy? 10-7 is only a 91% chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's kind of odd.
How frustrated are you if you win 10 games?
Yeah, especially in this league. Like 10 to get to 10 wins, and it has happened. We've seen the Castle-led Patriots go 11-5 and not make the playoffs, which is nuts. But it just goes to show how big the start of the year is for the Jags. And haven't looked at the schedule in a long time. That's another thing playing out right now, by the way, on Action Sports Jax 24/7 Network this week, the schedule release that we did in our show, and we went through a lot of this. And really, to me, it's getting to the 10 or 11 game mark of the season, really the first 11 weeks, because it's 10 games because your bye's in there. And what is your record? Are you 5-5? Are you 6-4? Are you 4-6? Like, where are you at? Well, hopefully you're not worse than 4-6. I think all those different scenarios, you can paint the picture where the Jags could get in the playoffs. Obviously, 6-4 being a very good one.
4-6.
4-6, you'd have to go
16% according to that chart.
16% at 4-6. What about 5-5?
Let's see.
And
5-5, 39%.
Okay, let's go one more. 6-4.
6-4, 67%.
Okay, so 16 to 39 to 67%. I think is what you said.
Yes.
So that is, I mean, think about that now. That is a big deal. Now, the 17-game schedule hasn't been around for a long time either. Yeah. So the sample size is a bit smaller than normal, but you get the idea of it. And I think that's why you see the jump in the numbers so much, because of that smaller sample size. So, again, I think even have that 39% chance, which I would say your odds go up in a division like the AFC South, based on compared to the rest of the league.
Right.
The Jags really need to start fast, and can they get to 5-5 after 10 games? Well, week 2, there's the Bengals. Again, you got to beat Carolina. I think what Andy Craig just brings up, we never win against Houston at home. We have to go to San Fran, Cincy. 2-2 would be tough. The bottom line here, Andy, for me, is I think if the Jags don't beat Houston at home, I think it's a very hard deal to make the playoffs. I think it's that early in the season that you know that the Jaguars are in trouble if they don't win that game.
Definitely.
It's a huge swing game for everything you just said, because on the heels of 2-2 are the Kansas City Chiefs on a Monday Night Football game. And then after that, you do get Seattle and then the Rams on the road. So however you end up there, you could easily be 3-4 or 4-3, but if you struggle to get off to a 2-2 start, well, now you might be looking at a 2-5 start, and then you're about done.
2-5, you're talking an 11% chance to make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean you're pretty much cooked. Now a lot can happen, but
nice word.
You're pretty much cooked.
Yeah, pretty
at
much
that stage. So, all right, so let's keep going though. So let's just say, what do you think? Let's just say they get 2-2. They lose to San Fran, but they beat Houston. So they're in the mix. They go, what do you think? They got to lose. You're not picking them to beat.
No.
Okay, Seattle, they got to win then. Get to 3-3. Do they beat the Rams in London? They are pretty good. So no. What's after that? Is that then the Raiders? They would have to beat the Raiders.
Is it that early?
It's right after the bye week.
Okay. Yes, it is.
Then what?
Texans.
Okay, you're going to lose that one. So now you're 4-5.
Chargers.
Ooh, you got to beat. You got to beat somebody good.
Yeah,
right?
ideally.
Like sooner or later, you got to beat somebody good. And maybe you had beaten Houston at home, but really you didn't beat the Rams under this. You didn't beat the Bengals. You didn't beat the Chiefs. You didn't beat San Fran. So you better beat somebody good. Like you got to win one of these games.
You can go on a little run after. So like say you do beat the Chargers, then you go Cardinals, you go Titans, Colts, and then Jets. You're well into December at that point. But that's a little bit of a run you could go on. So if you were able to beat the Chargers there, You feel good about the Cardinals as currently constructed. You feel good about the Titans. You feel decent about the Colts. And you feel decent about the Jets.
Well, that's the whole point of this. That's why it's a 10-game season, I think, because then you have at least, you've put yourself in position the last 7 games of the year to make the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And again, this goes along with Daniel Griffiths' article today on ActionSportsJax.com. The percentages are right in front of you. The playoff probability of what the Jags do, 4-6 to 6-4 to 5-5, a huge difference. We just did it. 16% to 39% to like 63% or something. Pretty crazy difference. 67%. 6-4 somehow, if you can get to that stage, would be massive. Now, the Jags were 8-3 at one time.
And at that time, they had a 95% chance.
Is that what it was?
At 8-3, 95%.
Wow. Now, when they were 3-7, they've done it both ways, because in 22, when they were 3-7, they probably had like a 4% chance to make the playoffs.
That's a crazy pull. It is 4.
Is it 4?
Yes.
So they've done it both ways. Isn't that nuts? That they have to be the first team that's ever done that. That has made the playoffs with a 4% chance and missed the playoffs with a 95% chance.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've like put that
into perspective.
They're the Jags. I don't know if anybody's ever put that in historical perspective enough.
That's fair.
Something like ESPN would do that article, like a Bill Barnwell or something like that. I mean, crazy.
Doug Peterson's got to be like, what the heck happened to you?
That is 2 wild years.
I know.
Right? I mean, that's nuts to be able to do that.
Do you remember what Cincinnati?
Hey, Andy Craig, I think you're right too. Betting the Jags to win the last 6 rather than the first 6 would be a better bet. They are not winning the first 6 games of the year.
No.
I think we know that.
See, like, and listen, I understand this is how this works, but like, you just said it, like, you just got to have an upset, or Randy said you need 2 upsets, but you said you got to beat somebody good. Like, if they could just go beat San Francisco, everything's a whole lot easier. Like, I understand it's a hard thing to do, but, like, they're not going to be as good. I know the Jags never went out there, but, like, just go win that game, and, like, everything's so much easier.
Well, here's the thing. I have a hard time to get to 3-1 beating San Fran. I think you got a better chance actually to beat Cincinnati early in the season. Doesn't the trend play that way?
The trend does play that way, but Cincinnati, like, at some point, don't you feel like Cincinnati's going to, like, be the team they're supposed to be?
I do, but it's been many years now.
I know.
Just thinking early on.
But, like,
it's a weird deal.
Everybody's paid now. Everybody's happy besides the first-round pick. He's not happy because he ain't paid.
Well, not only Hendrickson isn't either. Got a little noise there. You don't know what their defense is. If they don't have Hendrickson, what if he sits out?
That's fair. You would think this could be Chris Jones all over again. Remember when Chris Jones sat out?
Yeah, that was that second game. That actually could be.
Wrecked everything.
That'd be a pretty...
I think they got as dumb as it sounds, I think they got a better chance of beating San Francisco than
And it might not be, because we don't know what San Fran is. Mm-hmm. We really don't. So we'll see what it is. All right, so that's Daniel Griffiths. That one painter, First Coast, paint the play, paint the player. We're actually going to talk the run game in the noon hour as well. Still trying to get to Emmanuel Ogbah. Austin Lane is going to join us from down in South Florida. A lot to get to. Don't forget to check out thatonepainter.com/first-coast for all your painting needs heading into the summer, interior, exterior, all over Northeast Florida. Thatonepainter.com/first-coast. Take a time out. We'll come back. A lot more football to get to over the last hour, plus a little bit of the NBA and the Knicks. I've been watching them.
What is going on?
And this is like the age-old game in the NFL. Try to hit the crossbar. And Tony Baselli.
Yo, why does Gladstone have a rifle, kind of?
And James Gladstone. He grew up around football, man.
Come on.
Baselli, loosen up that arm a little bit, man.
Dude, Gladstone can sling it. How many GMs in the league can throw the football like that?
Baselli, man, that shoulder doesn't work that well. See, that's the problem for Baselli. Might have to bring this up. I'm going to ask him about this.
I think if
it must be, I bet, because he's probably had some shoulder surgery. He's had shoulder surgery, so that thing probably doesn't have full motion.
Yo, I think if there's a GM games, Gladstone just wipes the floor with everybody.
Yeah, Ventrell Miller, by the way, just tackled James Gladstone almost.
Look at that. That's a dot.
You like it. You like the way he chucks it.
I just think who else's GM is throwing the football like that?
Yeah. The one thing about GMs, they're younger side overall.
Okay, so like maybe John Lynch gets him, but
John Lynch should get him.
Out. John Lynch is old, bro. Look at, he's got hands too. This guy Gladstone, man, he's a genius and he's an athlete. Come on.
There's a saying in sports, you can't win them all, but you can win a lot with good folks on your team. Like that one painter, First Coast. It's tough to beat the sun in Florida, so your home fades. It's tough to beat that HOA when they come calling. Beat the sun, beat the HOA with that one painter, First Coast. And it's a good time to do it. Less rain to work around and painting in mild temperatures is perfect. After all, the paint bonds to the surface so much better. Give that one painter First Coast a call at 904-417-3557 or look them up at first-coast.thatonepainter.com. Fast estimate, guidance on color and HOA requirements, and the highest quality job you'll find anywhere. Be a big winner in your neighborhood with that one painter First Coast on your team.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
It's fast-paced,
Hands off on first down, and there goes Edward Vander.
high-fly,
Wide open receiver, it's caught.
action-packed, weekend fun. Fun for the entire family. It's the Jacksonville Sharks.
I feel like anybody could play in this league. It's gonna be like backyard football, right?
Whoa! This ain't the Arena League, Brent. This is the indoor league, and they play defense here.
It's a lot safer to just watch the professionals play. And watching is a lot of fun. A party in the stands at the arena for kids and adults. And it's indoors. Get out of the heat for the summer and watch the Sharks shine inside. Jacksonville Sharks football, season number 15. It's the drive for 5, and it's still alive. Get your tickets at jacksharks.com.
Are you about to graduate high school and haven't decided on what you want to do when you get done? Well, one option is to apply to become a student in the Electrical Training Alliance of Jacksonville. Their program offers structured classroom and online training along with on-the-job training so that you can earn while you learn. Still not convinced? The folks at ETA Jacks are a tuition-free 4-year apprenticeship program. There is no tuition and no student debt. Just pay for your books and your fees. That's it. Now, speaking of pay, students, they start off making $40,000 per year, including benefits, and they graduate, get this, making over $80,000 per year, including those sought-after benefits. Now, that sounds pretty good to me, and if that sounds good to you, it should check off a lot of boxes. So head on over to etajacks.org and apply by May 15th. Again, the website right here, etajacks.org. Don't wait, apply today.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet.
Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table.
Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjax.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austin Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Oh, we got Scrap House tonight, 7 o'clock. What is going on in the wrestling world?
Oh,
big deal?
Kind
of quiet.
No, definitely not quiet. Had a good, well, I don't know if it was good. Had a Saturday night's main event that we'll talk about featuring John Cena and others, which was interesting to say the least. And, you know, me and Austin will talk about that later tonight. A lot going on, Brent. There's maybe even talk some AEW potentially.
Oh, yeah?
A lot to talk about tonight. So,
like, what about AEW?
They had a pay-per-view as well this
Okay.
weekend. Well, not that WWE had a pay-per-view. It's a premium live event these days. But AEW did have pay-per-view. You had to pay money for it. And just, not to get into it too much, but the WWE show was 2 hours. And the beef there was, it was on, I hate to say it, Brent, it was on NBC.
You got it on NBC?
Yeah, Saturday night's main event is on NBC.
Huh.
A lot of commercials. Didn't have a match longer than like 15 minutes. Like there was a lot of conversation about that on the internet. And then you go to the AEW side and their pay-per-view was roughly 5 hours.
Wow.
So if we could just find a happy medium between 15-minute matches with 18 commercials per show and 5 hours, that'd be great. Wrestling, figure it out.
Austin Lane, when we were kids, or when I was a kid, it felt like a wrestling match on a long end would go about 10, 12 minutes. Now it's like 15 minutes at a minimum has to take place. Kim, make sure you got his audio. You might have to unmute something. But, I mean, we're talking 15 minutes at a minimum for some of these matches. Like you just said, it's not long enough if you don't go 15.
Enough. It's absolutely not long enough. Like, you got to tell a story, like in the matches. And the thing that, again, there's the beef with from the WWE event on Saturday is like on any other given day, there's like build-up inside of the ring, right? We're feeling each other out. We're doing this, we're doing that. On Saturday night, it was like boom, 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 over. And it's like, whoa, what happened? Like you barely had time. You had a couple returns in some of these matches that probably should have been played out a little more than they were, but you couldn't because you had to go to break. Some of these matches, now they didn't do this in the John Cena match because they obviously planned around it. But like the first match of the night was Sami Zayn, CM Punk, which are huge names. Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, also huge names. You went to commercial 3 times during the match.
Jeez.
And how can you, it felt like, you know what it felt like, Brent. The other station in town. I was going to say it by name, but I didn't want to get kicked off the show. But you know what I'm talking about. They're probably commercial right now. Go check it out and come back. But that's what it felt like. I felt like I was watching wrestling on their radio frequency. So it was a bit of a mess. Overall.
Yeah. That's pretty interesting. I never thought about it that way, the viewership, but there's a tempo to it from a match standpoint, right?
There's a
and
tempo.
how long. There's Austin Lane. First, we got to catch up a little bit. You get a new car yet?
Yep, got a new car, got a new truck, and also our condolences to our friends in New Orleans who got screwed over for, if we're talking about wrestling, supposed to go to WrestleMania in New Orleans, and the WWE said, never mind, enjoy Money in the Bank instead.
That's actually kind of a crazy thing, and that's even more like a big sports thing. Like you can't really do that. They
thought they were getting it.
No, they came out.
They did get it.
They did get it.
And
they
took
were
it away from
slated
them?
to host WrestleMania, and then TKO, which is like the conglomerate that runs the UFC and professional wrestling, they pretty much came out and said, never mind, we're probably going to host it in Vegas again.
Yeah, they brought The Rock out in, was it in New Orleans or somewhere on SmackDown? They brought The Rock out.
Yeah.
And we're like, WrestleMania is going to New Orleans next year. And then in the last week, Triple H was like,
can you
But
imagine?
he's like,
if
we
they
got great
did that?
news. How about Money in the Bank? How does that sound?
and people are like, what? Yeah, like
So seriously, do you guys know why they did that? Like what?
Yeah, because of money.
They just didn't
They're
think they
gonna
were
make a lot
going.
more. They're going to make a lot more money in Vegas than they will in New Orleans.
yeah, it sounds like Vegas is going to be a somewhat permanent, not always, but they're going to do a lot more in Vegas, basically, is what they said. For,
Interesting.
Financial, which
So what? Just because people will travel to Vegas more than they'll travel to New Orleans for these kind of events? I mean, New Orleans is a great destination place.
I mean, clearly.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Austin.
I just think in terms of gate, in terms of the ability to get there, I just think it's more enticing. Even though I feel like New Orleans is probably more centralized, but and it hasn't been confirmed yet with Vegas, but that's kind of the rumor circulating.
Oh, okay. So that's not. Seriously, where would you rather go watch an event? Vegas or New Orleans?
Vegas.
Austin?
I mean, I've been to both for events actually, and yeah, I mean Vegas it's easier to get around. I like New Orleans as a city more, but it's just you got Bourbon Street gets kind of chaotic, so I would probably say Vegas is a little more easier to navigate.
That's pretty interesting. I've been to New Orleans so many times. But I'm cool with going back. Like the Jags are going back for a preseason game. I like going to Vegas. The food's great, but the other stuff does get a little tired. I get like the Bourbon Street and everything else, but the strip in Vegas would get tiring too.
No,
but you can bet. Like, is it? But you've got Harrah's and all the other casinos right there in New Orleans too. Like you can do that in New Orleans.
Brent, there's a 2-story Taco Bell that serves alcohol in Las Vegas. Now, do they have that in New Orleans? You driven past it. You should go in, Austin. It's pretty dope. 2 stories.
Dude, it was for fight week, and Ronan almost like pulled me over the side of the road and said, "Can we please go?" I'm like, dude, can I get something a little more healthy before my fight?
It's probably a good call you made there. I've never been more shocked in my life. I went out there, and my buddy who I went to high school with was out there. He's in the military out there, and we're like walking around. He's like, "Oh, you like Taco Bell?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, that one's 2 stories, and they serve alcohol." I was like, "Oh, well, that's where we're going. Forget all this other, tourist crap. We're going in." It was packed. It was like a club. It's like Club Taco Bell. It is unbelievable. 10 out of 10.
That is crazy. Yeah, I wouldn't think they would move it. I mean, can you imagine, by the way, if they had that in Jacksonville or Orlando? I mean, how mad people would be if you took it out. Like, that's a huge get.
Well, I feel like Tony Khan would probably be pretty happy about it, but yeah, everybody else would be a little disappointed.
Yeah. So, wow, that's wild. I did not, I didn't, like, if you told me Houston or something like that, and you can get Vegas now because something opened up, my guess is maybe something opened up and they couldn't get Vegas at the first part. But
I just think they just did it, and they probably got their full returns of how much money they made, and they're like, never mind. Yeah. We're doing this again.
Yeah, that's pretty wild. That's a bummer for New Orleans. And you just start to wonder now, is that going to be the thing? They'll always have college football games, everything else, and it seems like the Super Bowl loves going to New Orleans. Loves it.
Yeah.
So it's in the rotation, but are we starting to see people get fatigued of a place like New Orleans? And if that is the case, where it becomes another place that is a hot spot? Vegas and what else? Is it always L.A.? Is it... I
do like L.A.
New York's always going to be a hot place, but like, can Chicago host some things like that when they build a new stadium or whatever else? Like, you wonder if there's going to be in the next 10 years this new destination place that maybe isn't as much on the radar right now. Like, I don't think Nashville is. They build a new stadium, though. Maybe they will get some of that because Nashville's Nashville. But I don't think it will be on the likes of Vegas. But maybe it's cheaper. All those things. Still kind of a cool place to go. Hey, speaking of some odds and ends stories, I just saw this one that I guess Oklahoma City is building like a whole new sports complex and everything else, like $100 million. It's got to be more than that. It's got to be a crazy amount of money. And Russell Westbrook is going to be part of the creative design team. Did you see this?
Interesting.
No, I haven't.
No, I didn't know anything about that.
Well, so my question, like...
They only got one thing, though, right? Or am I bugging?
Yeah, let me...
Oklahoma City?
They got the Thunder, but, like, what else they got for a sports complex? They have minor league baseball.
Well, they have the Women's World Series, right? Softball World Series.
That's
maybe
like
that
a 2-week thing a year.
Well, I know, but it's a big deal.
No, I'm not saying it's not.
Casey.
No, I know it's a big deal. Everyone's getting on me, but I'm just saying.
No, I'm kidding. Dude,
What about
I was being sarcastic. I didn't know where the Women's College Softball World Series was.
Well,
I actually did.
It is 2 weeks, so it brings in revenue.
Okay, but what about the other 50 weeks of the year? It just sits there and you look at it? Like the stadium?
Yeah, I don't know if they do other things there. I swear I just saw this. Let's see, what does it say?
Don't have hockey. Don't have...
Russell Westbrook has been named Stadium Master Architect to serve as a creative director for the Sports Entertainment District for his NBA home, Oklahoma City.
His NBA home? Bro's been on 15 teams.
Like, what does that even mean? Creative director. or create district master architect.
Sounds like he's
I assume so we're talking about they're probably going to build up around the area of Oklahoma City Thunder because I mean, yes, there is a lot of things lacking in OKC, but like they do love their Thunder there. Like they do love that basketball team. So what I'm gauging is they're going to build up around that district, and Russell Westbrook's going to be at the forefront in terms of what they should build, how they should build it, and how they attract people there.
Yeah. So I guess what had me thinking when I saw this is, what are athletes not going to be involved with? You know, they're buying teams. We now have a lot of this, Austin, where I think former NBA guys or a lot of NBA guys are now like this almost, what would you call, a GM of assistant GM at a college program that they were in. So they're bringing the name value back to their university. You know, if somebody played at Duke or Kentucky, whatever else, there have been recent things like that.
Andrew Luck.
Andrew Luck obviously is the GM, but I think they've named like some of the big name guys, kind of an adjunct of sorts, to put their name out there and help bring in more money, but also players to make it attractive. So they've linked them. I just wonder where. I mean, heck, we almost had Aaron Rodgers running for president for a minute. Like, true. I say this all the time, Austin. Like, I don't know. Our stars are getting so big and paid so well that I just think the power of the player is enormous and almost has no bounds. We've seen it, speaking of wrestling, we've seen it go into the entertainment world, but it's way beyond that, right? If they want to become decision makers and owners and whatever else, it looks like they're going to enter that kind of domain soon enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've seen this for a long time coming, though, and I feel like Casey Kurtz kind of speaks for more of like the youth, and he understands how really like put him up, Casey, like, you know, how the dynamics of social media work. But a word that gets thrown around a lot, and whether you see it with sneakers, whether you see it with streamers, is collaboration. And I think whether it's the Oklahoma City Thunder, whether it's any kind of company, it's all about collaboration. And I think, you know, Russell Westbrook is a classic example of that, where he's a face. He's a very big commodity, I feel like, in Oklahoma City Thunder. So like, why wouldn't you tie his name to that organization? Be like, all right, man, you know, like we're going to collaborate here. Let's hear some of your ideas. I mean, it's all about working together now, right? Whether it's at McDonald's, you can get an Angel Reese, whatever meal, like that's collaboration. And that's huge. So I just think in terms of trying to help each other's brands, and we saw it with professional wrestling. We can talk about it tonight. Casey will be on the Scrap House. We got Burt Kreischer and whatever the other dude's name is, Tom Segura. Like, everyone's about collaboration. Everyone's about bringing people over from different avenues and working together to try to grow that brand. So I just think, you know, it's been a long time coming, and I feel like you're going to see a lot more of it before you don't.
Do you think, guys, that this has been a long time coming, or is it more of a recent Taylor Swift in her impact type of deal, like even on the NFL, that has been like, whoa, like kind of eye-opening for some of these folks to be like, that is a totally different, that's like not even close to football, and it's actually bringing people over. Can we do this even on a smaller scale to bring some folks over that are tied to X player? And even if we get a small bump, at least it's a bump.
I mean, see, but I don't think the Taylor Swift stuff was a collaboration. I mean, despite what the rumors say, you know, was this all set up by the NFL to try to increase sales? Like, I think they're actually dating because they like each other, believe it or not. So I don't think that was really a collaboration, but I think it's been going on a long time, Brent. I mean, I kind of first saw it firsthand with like sneakers. And once again, I don't collect sneakers, but I'm still a sneakerhead. So like when Travis Scott started doing his Jordans and everything, when other celebrities got involved in terms of putting their names on things, well, yeah, that's when you saw it. And that was, I don't know, Casey, what do you want to say, 8-9 years ago?
Yeah, it sounds about right. And yeah, I think, I'm with you. It's not that Taylor Swift is a collaboration, but I do think, Brent, you might be onto something, because like even if you take the other Taylor Swift adjacent non-athlete people, right? So like we have Duncan, like Sabrina Carpenter has a drink at Duncan. Charlie D'Amelio had a drink at Duncan.
Okay.
Like Austin mentioned,
so that has been going on a while.
The Angel Reese meal. Before the Angel Reese meal, there was another meal
Sweetie.
at McDonald's.
there was a Sweetie meal. Who I don't even know who Sweetie is.
Yes, there's another one too that I can't think of. It's not Bad Bunny, but is another one. But the point is, like, this is a thing now. Like, as I was saying, the collaboration, he's talking sneakers, like everything. And that's just kind of where things are going, which is kind of crazy to me because, like, McDonald's. Oh, it's Jay Belvin, bro. There's a Jay Belvin meal at McDonald's. I don't even know who that guy is, but he had a meal at McDonald's. Not a clue. He's a singer. But, like, if you're McDonald's, aren't you doing all right? Like, are you reaching out to Jay Belvin? You're like, hey, bro, you trying to have a meal at McDonald's? Like,
Yeah.
how does that happen? And then even this one isn't like a person, if you will, but like they have done, and I think they're doing another one, McDonald's and Pokemon.
Okay.
Where, like, the kids'
Yeah.
meals have like exclusive cards in them.
True.
Which become valuable.
Now and that's been going on for decades.
Yeah.
Right?
So it's like the collaboration is like super hot right now, but it feels like it's working in everything.
Well,
Here's the real question, guys. Who does the Brent Austen Show want to collaborate with?
Well, I think you're right. Like, what would be your dream collaboration? Like, where could that work? And can it work on a lower level, like even in a town like Jacksonville, city like Jacksonville, rather than on a broader scape? Or does it have to be a national company of sorts? Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. You kind of start to wonder that way. I mean, listen, on an opposite level, Austin, I mean, we kind of do this in a sense, right? Like, if we can go, I mean, we had from Rasheen to Mojo or to others, like, on the show each and every week. Like, that's a form of collaboration in a sense. So I do think we do collaboration projects with businesses and other things anyway, with the show or with the network. But yeah, it's a fascinating point. Like, I don't know, like, almost outside the box. Like, that's the normal. That's a traditional sense of doing it. What's the outside the box collaboration of doing something that just really be like, kind of makes you go, why at first? Like, if we did something with Daly's Place. Okay, we're not a music show, right? Or the St. Augustine Amphitheater.
I mean,
right?
Austin, former music show host for a while.
Yeah,
so, like, it's kind of there.
Like, would that'd be outside the box, but it would maybe bring sports fans down to the St. Augustine Amp. So,
maybe,
you know, when you get a country artist that used to play, like, college football or something, like, I don't know, like, how outside the box? I mean, listen, this Russell Westbrook one is kind of weird. Like, he an architect for, like, plans of a thing that probably taxpayers are going to be very invested in. I'm not really sure I'd want
that's fair.
Westbrook building that.
Is bro qualified is a good question.
Well, that's kind of unique.
Did he take architecture in college?
Here's the other thing, guys. Like, when you do this, and this is, I think it's real risky. Can you get away? Sure. But here are some of the examples of guys that have done this. Steph Curry with Davidson. He's the assistant GM now. Trae Young, Oklahoma. Terrence Mann for Florida State. So they are NBA guys that are now assistant GMs is what they've named them. Even Shaquille O'Neal with Sacramento State. He is that role as well. So that's where it's going. So I start thinking, like, not about us as much as like a Trevor Lawrence. Well, boy, he'd be perfect for Clemson, wouldn't he, in this kind of role, if football were to go this way? But then I started thinking, oh, well, you would have said that would have been perfect years ago about Deshaun Watson.
I was just going to say, it's either him or Deshaun. I don't think they're reaching out to Deshaun, so Trevor's got it on lock.
But Austin, you'd have to be really careful about that kind of stuff, right? Like, who you are collaborating with in case it goes down a road you don't want it to go down.
No, for sure. Yeah, that's a good point. You know me, Brent, because I'm all about getting bang for my buck, right? So I'm trying to invest in value and then work it up. And I think when we talk about value, I mean, let's look at punters real quick. The Jaguars might have, like, the best one in Logan Cook. So I say we maybe reach out to Logan Cook and do something, you know, like good trill punting instead of goodwill hunting. Good trill. Hey, Casey, are kids using trill? Is that word still getting used or not?
Not as much, but, like, you could maybe work it, I guess.
Good skill punting, good trail punting. I don't know, man. Something with that. But
that would actually go really well with his hunting prowess too. I like that. I like where you're going with that.
Man. Yeah.
That's a good effort on your part.
I'll tell you this right now. If I could collab, if I ever got famous, the first place I'm going, the only place I'm going, Arby's. I love Arby's. I love Arby's, man.
That's a big smile about Arby's.
I love Arby's. Like, you guys, not you guys specifically, but, people want to talk crap about Arby's, that's fine. I love Arby's.
Do people talk crap about Arby's?
Yeah, lots. It's actually a national punching bag for the most part.
Really?
But I love Arby's. I'll stand in the gap for Arby's any day. Todd Golden and Arby's. I will stand in the gap for them any day of the week. No problem.
Casey, this is kind of coming full circle now, but did you know that I was actually endorsed by Taco Bell for a full year?
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So my PR people got me an endorsement with Taco Bell because, and I told this story before on the old show, but what were they called? So like the Doritos Locos Tacos, right?
Yeah.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember this kind of.
Yeah. So because I bought 16 of them because, had an addiction. So when they first came out, bought 16, put them on the hood of my dash and took a picture of them and said, like, I'm about to go all in. And then obviously Luke, Richardson, who was our strength coach at the time, was not a fan, but it is what it is. But then I sent that to my PR people. They showed it to Taco Bell. They loved it. And I got like a $300 gift card. It was like a black card to Taco Bell. And then they sent me like a handwritten letter with some t-shirts and some other like swag and merch and everything. So yeah, man, I had a little bit of a Taco Bell endorsement going on. Little collaboration.
That's pretty good.
So the next time you're in Vegas, you need to go to the two-story Taco Bell and be like, y'all know me? Former
Well, Casey,
Doritos
that was
Locos Tacos
2011,
athlete.
So yeah.
You should see if that card still works.
It would work.
I mean, I can find it. I probably lost it.
Yeah,
Let's be honest.
You probably have.
That's fair.
From Taco Bell to Weight Watchers, the Jacksonville Jaguars are watching their weight again, Austin. I talked about this at the start of the show. Just wanted to get a quick thought from you. As we look in hindsight, guys, and last year, Ryan Nielsen and what he tried to do with this team, Josh Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker and Cisco and Devin Lloyd and everybody else, it looks like this regime is saying, why don't you get back to where you played at when you had 17 and a half sacks?
You don't say.
And I guess my point earlier on is you can always hammer previous regimes, and there's plenty of ammunition here in Jacksonville for this last regime that how it went all bad. But then there are just other things that seemingly make no sense. And I felt like Ryan Nielsen at times, or that Jags brass, or Trent Baalke, everybody's to blame. Just did some things also just didn't seem to make sense. Like 17 and a half sacks. Oh, let's go change you. Let's go make you play at something now that you've never played at before. And I know you've experienced this, and you didn't like it when they did it to you either. But at least it looks like the Jags are dialing it back a little bit. And really, it doesn't look like they have a set rule. It's more like, hey, get back to where you feel the best. And they did that in the offseason, these guys. And now we'll see if it proves itself on the field.
Yeah, and this is really, where I was wrong about Ryan Nielsen, because I was excited. I was excited from the press conference when he came in and said, that we're going to put guys in the best possible position to succeed. And that was a lie. Now, granted, he was good at stopping the tush push. Okay. And Casey Kurtz, by the way, you're welcome for that bonus you're about to get from the viewership all over the tush push thing that we put out.
Appreciate you, dog.
I got you, man. No problem. I had to come correct. But when we talk about putting Josh Allen up for success, putting Eric Armstead, you simply didn't do that. And to me, like that was a wholehearted lie, because you had a guy who had 17 and a half sacks. And by the way, not an easy thing to do in the National Football League. I thought this whole thing with Josh Allen gaining weight, I thought it was by his own accord. I thought he just wanted to maybe gain some weight because maybe he felt a little lighter in the run game, whatever the case may be. I thought it was on Josh. I didn't know this was, your defensive coordinator saying, hey, man, yeah, you had 17 and a half sacks, and that's decent, but put on 20 pounds for me. Let's just do that and see what happens. It makes zero sense to me. And we'll see, how the whole defense now looks with Campinale, but I'm holding out the fact, and he's already off to a great start by saying, hey, you guys can play whatever you want to play at. Let players play what they feel comfortable at. It's simple as that. You had a coach last year in Ryan Nielsen that said, even though he said, we're going to put players out for success. No, you try to make players fit your scheme. When it should be, you take your scheme and you mold it around the players. And that's the vibe I at least get with Campinale. Now, I'm going to need to see it to believe it, right? I'm not going to jump, pull the trigger again and say, oh, yeah, this was great, Ryan Nielsen. Well, it didn't work out that way. But so far, so good, at least for Coach Campinale.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Casey, I said this earlier. I think Campinelli's got the easiest gig in the NFL.
Be better.
Just be like average.
Okay.
What coordinator, what group, what unit goes into the year and is like, hey, if we're average, we jump up like 12, 14 spots, 16 spots, whatever, right? And
if we just don't suck.
If we really just increase the floor, seriously, using their terminology, by a level, we might win 2 more games.
It feels like the safest job in the sport.
It really does.
Just stop somebody occasionally, and you're probably here next year.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to, denounce the importance of Campinale, Austin, but, it's just don't do that. Don't get 9 turnovers. Don't be 32nd in the league. Don't try to reinvent the wheel of defense. Just let the guys play. And it feels like he's going to have a successful year 1 in Jacksonville.
Yeah, it literally may be the easiest coordinator job that you have right now, but at the same time, I think it's one of the most important. Just because if you want to have success here, that defense is going to have to be a halfway decent, side of the ball. They're going to have to, if they're in the top 15, they're not 15. If they're at 15, this team is going to be so much more monumentally better because, obviously Liam Cohen we trust and everything, but there still is pressure to produce and perform, which, I think Campinale is more than, geared to do. It's just the fact of he's got to do it.
Yeah. So I just think, I said a lot earlier on too, I think this will be, this defense actually can make the most impact on this football team in 2025 by being average.
Just stop somebody.
I just don't think the offense is going to go from 18 points a game or whatever to 27. But the defense can actually help them go from 18.8 points a game to 21 or 22 with a couple more turnovers and plus territory.
How many did they give up? Do you remember what their points per game allowed was? Do you remember that number?
I don't even remember the number. I just know they're 32nd, 27th, 29th, all these different metrics, right? Their rankings were pretty close to the bottom. And the 9 turnovers is the one that sticks out to me. So they've got only way up. Mm-hmm. It's hard to do worse than the Jaguars
25.6.
Yeah. So, drop that by a field goal.
Just don't give up 4 touchdowns a game. You got to try.
Drop that by a field goal, and you might be in really good shape. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Casey Kurtz. Hey, one more Daniel Griffiths article to catch up on. He wrote this yesterday on actionsportsshacks.com, and this one has to do with the run game he shares with us, and that's another side of things, right? The Jaguars trying to protect a little bit their passing game, their quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, help them out, their offensive line as well. And, last year they were 4.2 yards per attempt, which was 18th. Their offensive line given 3.8 yards per attempt, 32nd. Their running backs tied for 12th. And 0.4 yards per attempt. We'll get to some of those numbers and what they mean in just a couple of moments. How good's the running game going to be this year, Casey?
Decent. I was a lot more confident last year. I had stronger feelings about it last year to start the season. As it turns out, I was wrong in a couple of spots in terms of touchdowns and who was going to be scoring them. Yeah, I see you. But
go on, Casey.
No, that's just stating a point is all.
Sounds like Kim Possible for putting me right on the screen too when he's talking about that.
Yeah, that's a bummer, Kim. Where's the damn picture of it?
I love that.
That was working. I'll go with what Austin said a couple minutes ago, and Liam Cohen we trust, so I think it's going to be better just because Liam Cohen's going to have it figured out and schemed and all that stuff. I think they're going to do a fair amount of rotation of guys. 3 guys are going to be running the football, I think, because I think Tootin's going to be involved as well. So better, I think, but I'm not going to sit here and say they're going to be the greatest team to ever run the football in the history of Earth, but I think they're going to do a decent job at it.
Well, Austin, who's the key to the back? Who's the key to the running game, really? Because ETN, 5.1 yards per carry in 2023 to now, wait a minute, let me make sure 2022 was just 3.8. 2023 was 5.1 yards per attempt. That's when he had that big season. So, can he get back in form? Is he the guy? Is Tootin going to give him a boost? Is Bigsby the guy who we have in the illustration and the picture? Or is it really the offensive line adjustments? Like, who's the biggest impact on the run game to get it better than a year ago?
I mean, yeah, it's got to be a combination of all those guys, Brent. But when we talk about what they did in Tampa Bay, right, where it was running back by committee until it really wasn't with Bucky Irving, I mean, I was a huge Tank Bigsby fan last year, and let's be honest, that whole running game didn't really exceed expectations at all. But I have a hard time seeing how Tank Bigsby is going to fill into this offense unless it's going to be like a short yardage guy, because I feel like Liam Cohen's going to go after that guy that's going to be a dependable receiver out of the backfield as well. And if you take Tootin, Bigsby, and Etienne into consideration, I feel like Bigsby is definitely the odd man out there. So I expect to see Bigsby more used maybe like in a first down back or like the goal line back when you need a yard. I think Etienne's going to get his opportunity to be the starter and be the bell, not necessarily a bell cow, but kind of the guy until he's not. But you got to love the potential to have that home run ball that Tootin does possess. Now it sounds like he needs to clean up the fumbles a little bit. I get it. It's rookie mini camp and everything. You're going to have some of those. But I think it's Travis Etienne's job to lose right now.
Yeah, let me do this and clean this up a little bit so it's more, it's better on your ears. 5.1 yards per attempt in 2022, 3.8 in 2023, 3.7 last year for Travis Etienne. So even though he had a 1,000-yard season in 23, the numbers were not nearly as strong as 2022. Can he get the boost from the new scheme like he did with Doug Peterson and his first year in the NFL? He certainly declined from a production standpoint. One other note, a couple years ago, above expectation, for what that's worth, the Jags were like 12th. That's at plus 4.4 mark. Like Derrick Henry is 1.5 above expectation per carry, okay?
Makes sense.
Well, a couple of years ago, Etienne was second to Nick Chubb in the league in that category, which means
Your offensive line's bad?
your offensive line to the job he did versus what you did to get away from stuff and create on your own was pretty dang good.
Yeah.
So he's got the capability. I think that's really a mystery and a curiosity this year is, one, who is their guy? And two, is Etienne capable of like a big season? We thought he was going into last year. And it just hasn't transpired that way. He got lost in the shuffle, so much so that we don't even know who's going to get what role. There's good stuff to pick from each guy, but there's certainly question marks, and I'm not sure Tootin Austin is enough to make up for the question marks, especially because his weakness might be putting the ball on the ground. That was his weakness in college.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said, I think Etienne's going to get the chance to be the guy, which is kind of crazy, though, because let's say in a perfect world that this Jaguars offensive line, they pick it up, Etienne's the bell cow, and he has a monumental season. Well, you're not going to bring him back, are you? Like, it's all but, like, fair, like, unless you trade him away, which we don't think is going to happen. So he's the guy this year, and then going forward, it's going to be Tootin and whoever else. It's crazy how he has the opportunity to have by far the biggest year that he's had and the biggest year of that running back core, and he's probably not going to be here next year.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good point. They're going to have to remake that. And by the way, if he is that, I would say then that becomes a bunch of doubt whether Tank Bigsby can be that guy, because now he's 3 years in and he hasn't solidified the case to be the number one back.
Right.
And where is Tootin in that? Well, you're going to be invested in him for a little bit, so you give him another crack at it in year number 2. But you might really need a main back. And don't lose sight of this, that they were looking for a main back in this draft. They tried R.J. Harvey earlier in the 3rd round. They were going Ashton Genty with pick number 5. So they value that in a big-time way. The easy answer here is that Liam Cohen and the offensive line can help these guys out and help the running game out. But if you really dial it into, okay, which player is going to impact the running game the most, I think that's up for grabs. Like, I have no idea. We could all pick different people on the bingo card, and it might even be
not doing that.
Robert Hainsey. Like, you pick your offensive lineman. that
True.
you think could be really good?
Real quick before you get off the running game, I didn't realize this, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you I watch every Bucks game, but like Rashad White, he's been a fantasy guy. Like he's a guy that you play. I've never once thought of Rashad White as like a
bell cow.
No, like a Tank Bigsby, if you will.
Okay.
Get tough yards. Like Rashad White catches the football out of the backfield. Like that's kind of what I thought. They're the same size. Rashad White is 6 foot
Really?
214. Tank is 5'11", 215.
Huh.
Now, Austin, to your point, like Tank isn't thought of as a receiving back. Rashad White is. So like there's differences for sure. But like just thinking back to watching Bucks games, I'm like, I don't remember thinking this guy's going to go smash for 2 yards and get it.
No,
but when Tank
not at
Bigsby's
all.
on the field, that's all you're thinking about for the most part. So
Absolutely.
it's kind of
Casey,
interesting.
Out of curiosity, how big is Bucky Irving? Do you have that in front of you?
I can have it in front of me in just a second. He is 5'10", 195.
Which, by the way, that's more Tootin. Like Tootin's like 5'9", I think like 205 or 208, something like that.
5'11", 209.
He's 5'11"?
It's what it says here. 5'11", 209. So he is significantly bigger than Bucky Irving.
Yeah.
Weight-wise. He's 20 pounds heavier and an inch taller.
Okay. Yeah. See, because he does, and he looks the part, but and obviously the speed plays. How fast is Bucky Irving?
Fast.
He was fast, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Fast.
I think they're trying to recreate that a little bit there, which seemed to make some sense. Check out that whole article. There's a lot of detail in that article, by the way, from Daniel Griffiths, actionsportsjacks.com. It's that one painter. First Coast Paint the Play or Paint the Player. And you can check out that onepainter.com/first-coast. Let's take a time out, check in with the NBA playoffs, and put a bow on the show when we come back. Austin Lane down South Florida, Casey Kurtz, Kim's Corner, Brent Martineau. There's Anton Harrison. Come on, Anton.
Oh! Practice video, baby.
Let's go. Ooh. Look like a pretty good route to me.
He does have some crazy bend to him, doesn't he?
Let's get Gladstone back on here throwing the football. I'm telling you, that guy's special.
Let's hope that's not the standout of practice.
I think it is.
Josh Hines Allen might have lost a few pounds, but he is still a big dude.
Yeah, it's...
That's the guy that it would be nice to see pop a little bit this year.
Yeah.
Devon Hamilton.
Oh, yeah.
We're just going to name everybody on the roster. Or just create a video where we have everybody on the roster.
Everyone's showing off the guns, huh? Rolling the sleeves up a little bit. A little hot out there.
It is pretty hot out there.
It do look warm out there. Here we go.
And then he's got long sleeves for no reason. Or just one sleeve. Travis Hunter, though. Swag, yeah.
Got the one sleeve.
One sleeve is crazy
What is the
work.
one sleeve doing?
What do you mean?
Hey, swagging. That's what it's doing.
Maybe you got new tattoos or something.
Trevor Lawrence, yeah. That's on point. No good looking throw.
The one sleeve
There's
is
that route again.
nasty work, though, huh?
We'll be right
If he
back.
can back it up, he can back it up, Casey.
I hope so.
When it's time to get a new car for anyone in your family, just remember, nobody but Nimnick, the #1 Buick GMC dealer in Jacksonville. Get the latest price breaks on 2023 and 2024 models or the newest 2025 vehicles in the showroom on Phillips Highway or shop online at nimnickbuickgmc.com 24 hours a day. GMC Sierras, Yukons, and the redesigned Acadias, or get the all-new redesigned line with Buicks. It's nobody but Nimnick, and part of the reason why is this is a first-class buying experience here at Nimnick Buick GMC. You're not just a customer, you're a friend. This is about getting a vehicle that best fits you and getting you on the road, and also helping you and your family down the road. Nimnick has a treating you right guarantee, courtesy, respect, fairness, and most Buicks, GMCs, and Jacksonville's only Car Bravo dealer, nobody but Nimnick. Who has put in the most years and stands behind a better experience? Nobody but Nimnick. GMC, we are professional grade.
If you look good, you feel good. And the medical professionals here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics are here to make you feel your best. I'm on camera every week, and I have a confession to make. I'm not always confident in my appearance. Can you see my dark circles? Is my makeup highlighting my fine lines instead of covering them up? I question it all. So when I found out about the wide variety of procedures here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics, I knew help was just one appointment away. Medical Director Dr. Megan Deacon Casey and her board-certified physicians have been using the latest in cutting-edge technology for the last 10 years, giving men and women their personal confidence boost. From Botox, fillers, Morpheus 8, and so much more. The hardest part was figuring out what I needed. Thankfully, the medical team walked me through what would work best for me through a free consultation. Come look and feel your best with the team here at Ponte Vedra Vein and Aesthetics. Visit them at one of their 2 locations, either over in Ponte Vedra or on the south side.
I've been telling you about CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing for a long time now. Their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. We've had a Connecticut water softener and drinking water system in our home for more than 7 years. You can see the difference whether you're washing clothes, the dishes, or what I like to do most, fill this up for some coffee every morning, and mostly all day. Remember, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Right now, you can get a free Connecticut reverse osmosis system with the purchase of a Connecticut Premier Softener. The experts at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing will test your water for free and determine your water score. Don't know your water score? CGC will find out and recommend the appropriate Connecticut water treatment solutions so you can improve it. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Ask about our 90-day love it or leave it guarantee. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League known as Jags PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
It's been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jags PAL.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
Welcome back to the Brent and Austen Show, streaming on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
And one for
Condon's back.
They must teach them in Florida.
Tell you what, they got it's a heck of a roster for your guy.
To try to
Did that ball go in? Did he block a shot that? All right.
They're in really good shape for a team that won a national title, which you should continue momentum. I get it, but they're going to lose like those guards and that scoring.
Replace them.
And, well, we'll see. But, like, how does it all mesh together is always going to be interesting. But bringing guys back like Condon is just huge. And right now, I mean, I saw somebody say, I think,
you're right. They must teach
what
them
did
in
they
Florida.
say? They were having trouble picking their top team, but it was between Florida, Purdue, and shoot, I can't remember the other team. Houston, you're right. There you go. Good call. So Florida's going to be right there. Now, how will they handle that? Remember, last year they weren't even in the top 25 preseason to begin with.
No.
So,
No. They lost in the first round of the tournament 2 years ago against Colorado. And nobody saw this coming. And listen, Terry made this point and has made this point a couple of times on the Young and Norvell show, and I think it's a good one. Like, how in the world are they not the unanimous preseason number one? Not that you don't win anything for that. And the other point of that is, like, if Duke brought what the Gators are bringing back, they'd be the one, no question.
No doubt about
Any
it.
of those blue blood teams.
Yeah.
Like, the Gators are bringing back a ton outside of the guards. And will they be as good? We don't know. But the point of the story is they went in the portal and got the two best guards.
There's a lot of respect for Houston's program, so I could see them being at Purdue. I don't see why they would be. Painter's done a good job, but I don't
Painter's
know why.
a good coach.
Yeah, he's a very good coach, but I don't know why. Again, I think Florida might be anyway. At the end of the day, they might be top team in the country. It's a good team coming back, especially with the addition of Condon. He loves that Todd Golden money.
Love him. Known good guy, Todd Golden. Love him, man.
What a turn, man. What a turn.
What
Crazy.
a turn.
It's just nuts.
Arby's and Todd Golden. I'd take a bullet for both.
That's what we learned on the show today. Brent Martineau, Casey Kurtz, Austin Lane. All right, we got a little trivia. Let's learn some more. Trivia coming off like a long weekend, like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah. So anything's really in play here up from the last time there was a show until now. So
it's going to be a real good trivia, like middle of July when we miss like 2 weeks.
Plenty. That's going to be wild.
That's going to be the whole show. Trivia for an hour.
Plenty of stuff to go over. I will tell you there's a reoccurring theme with this trivia, so I will start with that. I do not need an answer here, but eventually you will need to give one. But the reoccurring theme has to do with the UFL, I believe is what this NFL league or the football league is called.
Yes, it is.
And basically, this is all going to come back to attendance of the UFL at the Arlington Renegades and Memphis Showboats game this weekend.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind as you are navigating some of these questions. But we will start with some normal ones. Brent, we'll start with you, and then there will be a lot that you both get a shot at. But Brent, we'll start with you. Who won the WWE World Heavyweight Championship at Saturday night's main event this weekend? Was it A?
I got multiple choice. Thank goodness.
I mean, do you not want? Do you think you got it without the multiple choice?
Because I might say Batista or something like that.
It was not Dave. I'll tell you that. Was it A, Logan Paul? Was it B, Jey Uso? Or was it C, John Cena?
Man. Gosh, I thought I saw some Cena stuff going on. That's like on a daily basis.
Cena was there. Logan was there.
I don't think he won it. I think I would have heard about that.
Whoa.
Get him.
Whoa. Jey Uso, John Cena,
I
Logan
don't think
Paul.
I saw Uso. Maybe that's why. Maybe that means he won it. Let's go with him.
With who? Jey
B.
Uso? Wow, you got it right. How about that?
I think it would have been all over my social media if it was Cena or Paul.
Damn right, because Logan Paul's a star, Brent. You damn right about that.
Gonna be actually working with John Cena coming up for Money in the Bank, by the way.
Yeah, more on that on the Scrap House, because boy, do I have some thoughts.
Can't wait.
Austin Lane, who won the Indy 500?
Some guy from Spain.
I'll accept that, actually.
There you go.
Some guy from Spain.
Okay, the reason I'll accept it, the only reason I'll accept it is because he's the first Spaniard to win. So Austin does know something about what happened.
So, like, me and my roommate were flipping through, and he's like, "Oh, Indy 500's on." Then it was on it. I'm like, "Oh, cool." And then we go like, "Who won?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I never heard of that guy before." And I didn't care to memorize his name, but I'm like, "Where's he from?" Spain. Boom. So there you go, Casey. Some
And he's
guy
been
from Spain.
Hasn't he been? I don't know his name either.
But you were just getting on him.
But I know, like,
Alex
I think I saw that he's won, like, he's been one of the top drivers, right? Just hadn't won the Indy.
That's correct. Alex Pillow is your winner. This is for either of you closest with it, or just in general. What do you think? Who had more in attendance, the UFL game I mentioned earlier, or the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp on Sunday night after an hour and 45-minute rain delay against the Memphis Redbirds? Any guesses on who had more fans in the stands?
I'm going to guess because of your phrasing of this. I'm going with the Jumbo Shrimp.
Jumbo Shrimp, Austin?
I'm going to, which team was the Showboats and who else?
The Arlington Renegades.
See, was that one in the rain delay as well? There was one. Okay, well, I'm gonna go with the Shrimp because there was one I remember game that was in the rain delay because they showed like an old highlight, like one of the best games ever supposedly in that league's history. So me and my son were watching that a little bit.
Interesting.
So I'm gonna say the Shrimp.
It was indeed the shrimp. We'll get back to that in a second. Who had the most points
Dragging
combined?
this attendance thing out.
Oh, we're dragging it out. Who had the most points combined in the NBA games this weekend since the last show that happened? So,
Okay.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
The most points.
Tuesday. Who had the most points combined with all of, like...
Okay. Is it me or Austin?
Either of you.
We're just saying... Oh, you're not going to even say choices? We just have to say who had the most points.
Well, there's
total?
4 choices.
There's 4 teams. This is an individual player.
Oh, but it's a player, right?
Oh, player.
Yes,
My bad.
yeah.
My bad. Okay. I'm going to say Siakam.
I was going to say Siakam too, actually.
You're both going Pascal Siakam?
Yep.
Jalen Brunson.
No.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Hey, Austin. I've all of a sudden watched like the Knicks games the last couple of days. What the hell, man? Like, why is Bridges shooting all the time and Brunson is not? Like, did Brunson shoot in the fourth quarter?
He did. He missed.
He missed a little bit. Yeah. I think Brunson looks like he's worn out, man. I think he's the minutes are getting to him. He's not playing any kind of defense whatsoever. It's just Knicks are done. And I get it. Like on paper, I think the Knicks are the more talented team, but the Pacers play a lot better team ball and they're a lot quicker. And for whatever reason, the Knicks aren't trying to slow the ball down. They're trying to match pace with the Pacers. Pun intended. And it's backfiring on them.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, obviously they won that game 3 because the backups did a great job defensively and everything else. And it was almost a good move to not play. But isn't that wild? Like, they did not play Brunson for like 7 or 8 minutes in that fourth, and it worked out. Mm-hmm. It was like what Louisville was trying to do in the NCAA tournament with their star guy. But I get it. Like, they do look a little fatigued, and obviously that's been a big story, is that. But it's just like, man, I mean, you get down to the I want Brunson or Towns shooting every time. Mm-hmm. I'll give Towns credit, man. He has taken over games in the last 2, or at least he's tried to. Like, I like the effort to say, hey, you're not going to stop me. And I like the will to win looks pretty good on his part. Brunson looks like to your point, kind of like doesn't want to be there.
I think there's a giant debate, though, if they would have been a better team, if they would have kept their core from last year and not traded for Karl Anthony Towns. Because even though, like, Towns, there's been quarters where he has done really well, he's such a liability on defense, because if you put him on the 4, it seems like he's a little too slow to keep up with the power forward. And if you put him at center, like, it's not like he's like this prolific shot blocker. He makes a lot of bad fouls. So I don't know, man. I just think the Knicks, I wonder if they were a better team last year, but.
All right, what else you got?
Which had more fans, that UFL game or the Florida softball versus Georgia softball final game on Sunday?
Florida, Georgia.
Oh, dude, Florida, Georgia, come on now.
Now, not that many people can fit in a softball stadium. You still going with that?
Yes.
Yeah, they
Florida,
had more.
Georgia all day.
They definitely had more. What was more, people you can fit in a Costco at the full amount of people you can fit in there, or the UFL game? Costco or the game?
Oh, definitely Costco. That's an easy one.
Costco for sure. Hey, you know what's funny too? So I got into town last night and I stopped by Costco in Boca Raton or whatever, which is kind of like the older people. And I'm checking out, and this younger kid's helping me or whatever. And he's like, "Hey man, I got some boxes for you here." I'm like, "Oh dude, I could have got them myself." Like, he's like, "Where the hell they do that at?" I go, "Well, I live in Jacksonville. We have to go get our own boxes." Like, he's like, "Bro, this is Boca Raton, man. We get you the boxes." I'm like, "All right, say no more."
Bro was trying to get a tip, is what was happening right there.
Maybe. I guess so.
Okay, with all that information, knowing that there were more people at the Shrimp, more people at the softball, more people at Costco, how many people were at the Arlington Renegades Memphis Showboats game? How many?
643.
643 is a crazy number. Austin?
I mean, if we talk about that softball game, when people show up to that softball, I'm going to say like
1,000.
512.
512. Okay. 2,146 people showed up to the softball game.
Oh, okay. Wow.
2,044 people showed up to the UFO game.
Okay. Yeah.
The stadium holds 28,000.
Where was it again?
Memphis.
Not working.
Good seats.
2,044 people.
Wow.
That's crazy. Is it not?
Yeah.
That can't be good.
By the way, how many people do you think you can fit in the Costco at full occupancy?
It's a big place, man.
Got this from Costco's website.
Oh, you actually know the answer to this?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's like a fire.
Amazing.
There's got to be a fire hazard thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, well, based on what you just said, it can't be that much more. Maybe 2,400.
Austin?
I mean, you take into that dairy, you take into the
It's a
frozen.
big place.
It's a huge place. Give me 2,800.
4,000.
4,000.
Can fit into a Costco. Some 5, but mostly 4.
Really?
That's what it says.
That's
on
some pretty good
Costco's
knowledge
website.
right there. That's a good
Gives me
little. Did you
anxiety
know?
just thinking about that?
So
all
you
those
could-
carts just hitting me.
I wonder how many have been there. How many hot dogs do you sell on that day at Costco if you get 4,000 in?
At least 8,000. So basically, what I'm saying is you could have 2 full UFL games in Costco and be fine. is what I'm getting at.
That
there.
is kind of nuts.
Yeah, that's. I mean, do we need to get out of here?
Yeah, probably in a minute.
All right, cool. Since Friday, which MLB team has been shut out twice? Last one. I'll tell you, it's an American League team.
The Orioles are really struggling.
Orioles are really struggling.
Let's go with them.
Austin?
Which American League team?
Only team
Was
to
it
be shut out twice.
Was it the Tigers?
No, the Tigers are still good at baseball.
I know, but like they're on a 3-game losing streak though, I thought.
Nah, they've scored some runs at least. Toronto Blue Jays, try to score one time. Shut out twice.
Shut out twice in like a 3 or 4 day span.
Bums.
It's tough to get shut out in baseball.
Twice
9
since
innings.
Friday.
By the
You
way,
suck.
shout to Jacksonville son Christian Yelich hitting
I
that,
knew that was gonna
grand
come up.
slam. Oh, you better believe it was going to come up, hitting that grand slam walk off against the Boston Red Sox.
Yeah, it was 1-0, and when I saw it, and then all of a sudden it was grand slam.
I really
Lose
wish
the
the
game.
Brewers would pitch their closer since I've got him just chilling on my fantasy team.
Oh, you talking about McGill?
Yeah, Trevor McGill,
Yeah,
bro.
man.
Never goes in. They're winning. They're like, nah, forget it. Like, pitch the guy, please. I need fantasy points.
Hey, guys, I've got something to close the show for you. And maybe you'll be as cool as me someday. Me and Travis Hunter, that is.
No way.
Yeah. Nominate a good dude in your community.
No way.
HeyDude.com.
Wow.
How about that?
Well, dude had to pay for that wedding.
Travis Hunter. Hey, dude.
I'm wearing Hey Dudes right now. Brent, give me some love there. But this is crazy. This was like a week ago. You said he should get on the Hey Dude. This is crazy.
There we go.
Look at this guy.
In style here in Jacksonville.
Bro's rocking Hey Dudes, getting married, fishing, wearing one sleeve at practice.
Life is good.
No scenario they don't win the Super Bowl.
Absolutely. That's coming next. All right, Austin, have a good day, man. We'll see you again tomorrow. For Casey Kurtz, I'm Brent Martineau. Kim's Quarter, thanks. Rob will be in tomorrow, and we'll get after it again. A little NASCAR right here at 1 o'clock on the Action Sports Jacks 24/7 Network, a week with Action Sports Jacks, and then Young and Norvell show coming up at 4 o'clock as well. Have a good day, everybody.
Are you about to graduate high school and haven't decided on what you want to do when you get done? Well, one option is to apply to become a student in the Electrical Training Alliance of Jacksonville. Their program offers structured classroom and online training along with on-the-job training so that you can earn while you learn. Still not convinced? The folks at ETA Jacks are a tuition-free 4-year apprenticeship program. There is no tuition and no student debt. Just pay for your books and your fees. That's it. Now, speaking of pay, students, they start off making $40,000 per year, including benefits, and they graduate, get this, making over $80,000 per year, including those sought-after benefits. Now, that sounds pretty good to me, and if that sounds good to you, it should check off a lot of boxes. So head on over to etajacks.org and apply by May 15th. Again, the website right here, etajacks.org. Don't wait, apply today.
People helping people. It's at the core of what Alive Credit Union is all about, and it's been that way for over 70 years. From the start in 1954 to today, the mission remains to inspire financial wellness and give you a financially fit lifestyle. Alive Credit Union and its employees are committed to not only serving their valued members, but also our community here in Northeast Florida. I had a chance to see that commitment firsthand as Alive partnered with our Action Sports Jacks 24/7 team to bring you Armada men's and women's soccer broadcasts. Inside the 18, it is a shot, and it's a goal! Chloe Chivers! And that connection to the community continues with Alive Credit Union's support of the Police Athletic League of Jacksonville. Alive Credit Union's commitment to our community also involves serving the financial needs of all first responders through the recent merger partnership with City and Police Federal Credit Union. Join the community and become a member of Alive Credit Union today. Find out the many ways you can be inspired in financial wellness at alivecu.coop.
You trust CGC to make your water great, and now you can trust CGC with your plumbing needs as well. Fast, convenient scheduling, licensed and insured. A quick call away at 904-552-1242.
You never know when you're going to have an issue with a shower, toilet, or maybe it's a sink that sometimes is easy to fix. All right, let's be honest. I'm not fixing anything. I'm totally staging this because when I have a plumbing problem, I call CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing.
Trained professionals, transparent pricing, customer satisfaction. Small problem or even a bigger issue. Save 10% off any water heater plus no trip charge. The experts with 25 years of experience at CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing can do it all. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. For a limited time, CGC is waiving the trip charge on all related plumbing calls. CGC Water Treatment and Plumbing, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. Florida license number CFC 1432579.
For the game day hustle and every day in between, juggling my show Jags Social to going under the Friday night lights and a social life, it's a daily tournament. But this ride, MVP status. The all-new 2024 Lincoln Nautilus isn't just my car, it's my personal locker room, office on the go, and VIP lounge on wheels. Let's talk tech. My profile remembers everything from customizing my dash display to setting the ambient lighting and my signature scent. And wireless charging, essential for live tweeting scores. Whether I'm packing for a beach day with friends or heading to the gym, there's space for every passion. After dominating all day, this becomes my recovery zone. The massage feature is like having a personal PT on call. Life's a non-stop game, but with this ride, I'm always on my A game. The 2024 Lincoln Nautilus. Drive your passion.
Grab some friends and go to a restaurant or head out for a drink and some conversation. Watch your favorite team play on the big screen. Or how about play some games? You can do all of that in one night at Best Bet.
Each location has a different vibe, its own personality, like here at the original Best Bet in Orange Park. When you walk through these doors, everybody knows your name. And here in St. Augustine, it's the newest location. Play some poker. How about the table games? And don't forget about Ace's Sports Bar and Grill. And then there's the Jacksonville location right here on Monument Road. It's the biggest poker room in the state of Florida. Maybe you'll find yourself a seat right here at the final table.
Best Bet, where you can have the best of times. And that makes you always go home a winner. Try any of the 3 locations, and you can always visit bestbetjacks.com.